I don't know how we managed to get her. Sometimes I still think to myself now, how did we get Danielle Harris? But
yeah,
she was over here in Aberdeen.
Yeah, I mean that's for me was like the perfect casting for the audience of these films as well, because everyone in this kind of horror community now knows of Danielle Harris. I thought that was like bang on. How was that whole experience for you, having people fly over to the UK for your shoot with such time restraints? Do you get a feel for people really quick and you have to try and bond really fast and like thinking on your feet?
I think it was really awkward with Danielle to begin with. I mean, she knew it was a low budget movie.
Yeah.
And she flew into Aberdeen and she had like her 6-month-old kid and she had a nanny with her. So as soon as she came in, she was just like, hi, boom, off to the hotel.
Right.
And we're shooting the next day. And we had this new camera that just come out. And on the first shot, it broke down. So she's waiting in this other set and we're like 2-3 hours late. So I could tell she was sitting there. She was on her phone. I could just tell. She's like, what have I got myself into?
Her agent, what is this? Where am I right now?
But I mean, towards the end, she was so good. She was so nice. And she really, it was a difficult movie to make. And she's done these movies, like so many of these movies. And we ran so far on schedule. And it was really down to her that we made it up.
Right.
It's, like rather than me having to direct someone talk about it, we had such a shorthand. She's like, I've done this scene 2,000 times before. Right. Where do you want me to start? Where do you want me to end?
Yeah.
And we'll shoot. And that's how we kind of caught the movie back up. So it's kind of, I owe her, a big thank you for, pulling the movie to the finish line.
That's awesome.
You could have been someone who was just like, I'm just going to let these guys sink.
Yeah.
But she was all in towards the end and super. I'm kind of disappointed I never got more time with her because some of her behind the scenes stories were brilliant, from Hollywood. So I'm kind of.
I mean, she's kind of, probably a little bit younger than us or similar age, but she's been in the industry. I don't know how old she was when she did those first Halloween films, but she was super young. So she's had several decades in the industry.
She had like Bruce Willis stories, Steven Seagal stories, Sylvester Stallone stories. And the movie she did before coming over to do Red Room Massacre was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was in that for a brief moment.
Right, I didn't know that.
A lot of her scenes had to get cut in the end because she was pregnant. Because she had to go to hospital, but she's in there. So she was like, I was like, oh, what's the last movie you just done? She's like, oh, I did it with Quentin Tarantino. So I'm like, oh dear. Well, welcome to Aberdeen.